I give the CIA a total...
Welcome to another episode of Rise to Liberty. Just got to make sure all of my sound looks good. How's everything sound on your guys' end? Everything sound good? I always forget to check my settings after I do a episode of Already Dead. I don't know why that escaped my mind. I do it every single Thursday. Oh my Lord. Every single Tuesday. And I swear this is not an indictment of how tonight's show is going to go. Anyways, so let's make sure and tweet the show out. Make sure everyone knows that we are here. We are live. We're feeling good. Let's see. How is everyone doing this fine evening? Everything seems to be going over here. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sweet. All right. So we have a rather special show. Let's see. There we go. There we go. That sounds a bit better. So it's going to be a little bit of a short show, shorter than normal, just because I've got another show I've got to be on. However, this is going to be a continual subject anyways. So what we're going to start doing, because I wasn't sure what to do for today's Satanic Panic Is Real. We've been talking a lot about like the cases themselves and all of these other cases that, you know, are familiar and aren't familiar. But what we haven't discussed yet is the criticism of Satanic Panic, the propaganda that is rather well known. So we're going to take a look at some of these pieces today, and we're going to discuss false memory syndrome. And on top of that, the False Memory Syndrome Foundation, which is going to be very interesting. It's kind of where I started as far as covering all of this or these topics is the False Memory Syndrome Foundation, which I have determined are my arch enemies, or anyone that had anything to do with them, worked with them directly or indirectly, or if they have picked up where they have left off, because the False Memory Syndrome Foundation has been dissolved or was dissolved as a organization. Pamela Frade, one of the co-founders, her and her husband co-founded it, could not find anyone to take it over. And so they really, I think they just decided that, you know, it served its purpose and that was it. But we're going to take a look at that. And the people who took it over, mind you, the people who who took it over were the Satanic Temple. In fact, it's an organization called the Gray Faction. Okay. If that's not an indictment, I'll tell you this right now. You know, it doesn't matter like what I was up for. If somebody came to me, said, we want to help you and support you and help you get through this like legal trouble, and it turned out it was the Satanic Temple, I would say, yeah, no, I'm okay. Thank you. Like, I don't care what I was up for. I would not want their help. It's like, you guys are not going to, you guys are not going to help. Let's see, Gray Faction. It's very interesting. Let's see, so I was looking for books on repressed memories and couldn't really find much. They are all on false memory syndrome. Right. So the thing is like repressed memories aren't exactly a thing. Um, oh, hey, Rotting Jules. Hey, Dana, how's it going? Um, repressed memories is not actually a thing. What you're probably looking for is dissociative identity disorder or multiple personality disorder. Those are the two things that you're going to look into that really repressed memories. That's what you're looking for. The term repressed memories is actually a propaganda term, so that's kind of why you're not finding a bunch. Um, so yeah, that's why. But there was a book I highly recommend, and it's actually a book we will be working out of when we cover this topic. It is called "The Truth About False Memory Syndrome." Right there, it's backwards, but you can get it. It has Atlas on, or wait, that's not Atlas. It's the Thinking Man. James G. Frizen is the author. He is a doctor, and he breaks down false memory syndrome and everything about it. So, it's going to be good. It's going to be real good. Let's see. Gray Factions Fallout is absolutely pathetic. So is the Temple. 100%. 100%. It's so I've talked to some people that have been harassed by them. And there was one doctor I talked to, and they got mailed a dead raccoon. Like, what the fuck? Like, these people are out, helping victims of, abuse, severe trauma, and they've got these fucking satanic assholes out here mailing them dead animals. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? It's just insane. It's just crazy. Yeah, it's just crazy. Ew, that's weird. Who the hell would want a membership with him? Gross. Let's see. Oh, interesting. There's no surprise there. There's a doctor here in Utah who they were also constantly going after. In fact, I found on Doug's personal blog or website or whatever the fuck it was, little Dougie, I found a blog post with him bragging about harassing this doctor here in Utah. And I can't remember what his name is. It was just ridiculous though. I can't believe this dude, like, he was just blatantly bragging about harassing him, and like, not just like, oh, I kept calling him and asked him if his refrigerator was running. No, like a level of harassment that definitely should be criminal. Definitely should be criminal. Let's see, Jacob, the interview with that woman, the survivor, was really good. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's kind of hard interviewing survivors. I tend to leave my personal opinion of what I think, whether I believe them or not. All of these different things. I try to leave that out as much as possible because I want everyone to be able to listen to their story, or at least the story in which they want people to hear. And I want everyone to be able to make it up for their own, make up for their own mind, with their own thoughts, whether they believe them or not. And I don't expect everyone to believe everyone, but that's not the point. Really, the point is that some people, especially other survivors, really benefit from. Some survivors really benefit from hearing other survivors. So that's that's really why I do what I do. And also it puts a face to these concepts that we talk about. It's really easy to talk about the concepts and kind of distance yourself from the people. I mean, you kind of have to with some of this. Um, but it is also good to remember occasionally that we are talking about real people that have experienced real things. But I'm glad everyone has liked it. I've received a really good feedback on that so far. See, Doug made fake YouTube channel to harass an old woman. Oh my God, really? I mean, I'm not surprised. This dude's such a loser. It's just, yeah, seriously, I just, oh my Lord. And her name is Katie, by the way. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. It's not the easiest thing. It's definitely not. So yeah, exactly. I mean, it's really difficult because it is a hell of a lot easier to not believe. Because if you do believe, then I mean, the world becomes a lot darker and a lot scarier almost instantly. I get it. And also, if this stuff is real, then you actually have to do something about it, right? Because, I mean, if you just say, yeah, I know it happens, but I just want to watch my sports ball and drink my beer and not really give a shit. I mean, at least I would hope most people would, really kind of frown upon that behavior. Then again, with the world we live in these days, who fucking knows what would happen? But, it is a hell of a lot easier to believe that these things don't happen or that they are so rare that they rarely happen. And in which case, what? There's nothing I can do anyways. So, the one thing I do want to do is get to why. Why exactly is it that people are still having a hard time believing? Well, it's because of assholes like this. And I mean this wholeheartedly. This man is an asshole, but he is my favorite Fed. At least right now, he's my favorite Fed. This is John Leasley. He is a man. Well, I assume he's a man. I assume he identifies as a man. He is allegedly a history professor at the University of Texas, Austin. And he was also part of a intelligence program that basically, so it's a club for old intelligence officers who are interested in preserving the history of the intelligence agencies. And they have a program through the colleges where if you apply to it and they like your project, and if it benefits the mission of the intelligence history project or whatever the hell it is, then they will provide you with money. Well, he wrote a book recently called, what is it? Project Mind Control. We will do a whole review on this. It's taken me a while because I've got to gather up a bunch of things to be able to prove that this is straight up all propaganda. And it is, by the way. It's like it's so blatantly propaganda, it makes me a little sick. But John Leasley received money, a grant, to be able to write this book because it's a total intelligence rag. And he equates, John Leasley equates those who believe in SRA or ritual abuse at all of any kind, satanic or otherwise. He equates those who believe in ritual abuse or dissociative identity disorder we are on the same level as flat earthers, apparently, according to him. And we are also on like the same level as somebody who, you know, I don't even know how to compare it. Like, I don't know, but apparently it's all fake. It's all a conspiracy theory. So the title to this short little video is Debunking False Memories and Satanic Panic Theories. So let's take a listen to what John has to say about this.
And in that book, it's co-authored by her husband. And her husband was a member of what's called the...
Oh, okay. I already know what he's talking about. He's talking about Michelle Remembers. First and foremost, I already know. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what club you're talking about, but I mean, 100% John's a Fed. I have his resume because I've been doing some digging on him, and I wanted to know who I was dealing with. And no, he's literally a Fed.
International Society for the Study of Dissociation. It was like this pseudoscientific conspiracy theory society that was championing satanic panic theories during the 1980s. And during that satanic panic, there were this kind of false memory syndrome that was going around, the idea that if we hypnotize someone, it might induce they might recall these repressed memories. In fact,
okay, he mixed up like a whole bunch of things right there. I mean, this dude, like, this is literally like, yeah. He was on Julian Dory's podcast. And let's see, he was on Julian Dory, and who's the other one that Julian's friends with? Danny Jones. So he was on both of them. So he was on both channels. When he was on Julian Dory's, this will give you a whole lot of insight into their audience. Julian Dory, if you go and look at John Leesley's interview on his channel, all the audience is all like, whoa, I can't believe you had this guy on, blah, blah, blah. I'm so like, wow, I can't believe I learned all this stuff. Now, if you go over to Danny Jones's episode with John Leesley and you go through his comments on John Leesley's video, everyone in the comment section, almost everyone, it just kept calling John a Fed, spook, glowy, like. So everyone over on Julian's channel was just eating it up. Everyone over on Danny's channel like could see right through this guy. Now, I don't think that says anything about like the people themselves or their channels. However, I do find the juxtaposition between both of those channels incredibly interesting. Michelle Remembers was propaganda. Oh, totally. And here's the thing is, I think it's complicated too, because I think Michelle really was a victim of a lot of things, because she speaks like somebody who did experience this, but it does seem like her counselor or her husband counselor, I don't know. It does seem like he was a handler, like 100% a handler. Kind of like, oh God, why am I forgetting everyone's name tonight? Kind of like Kathy O'Brien and Mark Phillips, same thing. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I don't really care. Lavenda. Let's see, the club you mentioned about spooks maintaining and documenting their history. Lavenda's in that club. Right. The name of the club? I will get you the name of the club after the stream. Like I said, I have it on John's resume, which, mind you, was public. It's not like I, did that kind of digging on John, but I have all of that stuff saved. So I will message that to you after the stream. Yeah, Danny Jones creeps me out. Yeah, they all kind of do. Like, I don't know. They're both like Tweedledee and Tweedledum of like the Joe Rogan sphere, like it's like they tried to clone Joe Rogan, but both of them didn't quite work right. So one of them was called Danny and the other one's called Julian. I don't know. I mean, I don't like every podcaster out there. I have very little time to even watch people's shows these days anyways. But obviously I watch them for the actual people that they have on, not the podcasters themselves. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Michelle reminds me of Candy Jones. Right. Exactly. I couldn't agree with that anymore. Yep. I wonder about Mark Phillips. I believe Kathy. There's very few survivors that I don't believe. It's just usually I don't believe the extent. I usually don't believe that they're free of the whole thing. Because the thing is if they have an asset, they're going to want to keep it, period. Or they're going to want to make sure that it self-destructs. So, I have questions. I also don't trust almost anyone explicitly, So there's that. Right. Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. There's definitely some weird shit. I mean, let's be honest. This whole situation and all of this shit is weird, though, right? So it's kind of par for the course. It's not like we're literally talking about mind control and programming and Monarch and like all of these like really crazy things to begin with. So, I mean, when something crazy like this happens, I'm not really that surprised, is all I'm saying. Also, I just don't believe in coincidence anymore. So,
In fact, it was like inducing false memories in people. And he says in this book.
Yeah. I forgot. So John was like wrapping up a whole bunch of things all in one. And he's doing this whole like speak really fast and wrap a whole bunch of things up in once. So you don't really have to like think about what he says. So let's kind of go through it just real quick.
During that Satanic Panic, there were this kind of false memories.
Okay, during this Satanic Panic, there were these false memories, false
syndrome that was going on.
Okay, there was this false memory syndrome going around. Okay, like it's something you can fucking catch. Okay. God, I hate this already. I can't stand this dude. I really can't. And it bums me out because I bought his book. I pre-ordered his book actually. I was really excited for it. I got it, read it, got about like 4 chapters in and almost couldn't finish it because it's just so bad. However, caveat, I did learn some things from it, but this is also indicative of a disinformation agent, correct? Like one of the things about disinformation agents is that they do give out real information that is correct. It's just that they offer you just enough wrong that it will put you off course. So my personal opinion is that this is who he really is a disinformation agent, whether he knows it or not, honestly. So okay, so there's false memory syndrome going around, quote unquote, during the Satanic Panic, like you can catch it like a cold. Let's see.
Around the idea that if we hypnotize someone, it might induce their.
Okay, and so because of the false memory syndrome was going around, people were catching it, but the idea is that counselors could hypnotize people, put them into hypnotherapy, which is what he's talking about. Hypnotherapy, and then through hypnotherapy, we could bring out these repressed memories in people, which seemed to be how things were going back then. Let's see.
They might recall these repressed memories. In fact, it was like inducing false memories in people. And he says in this book that he did this hypnotism on her and he was able.
Right. Right. So what's interesting, this book that I mentioned, The Truth About False Memory Syndrome by James G. Frizen, he addresses all of that. Like I said, he is a PhD, a brilliant man. Honestly, if I had to have counseling like that level of counseling, he would probably be somebody I would seek out because of just how amazing he is, honestly. So here's one issue I have with this whole narrative regarding the one thing I have issue with this whole thing. Okay. Let's say the whole narrative is true, that these were all fake memories. Nobody had them, but they were all implanted by therapists and counselors and people wanting to scam people. Okay, then why was there not the opposite of all of these counselors, these scam artists going to prison and getting sued? Because basically, all they were able to do was prove that some of these cases were not abuse. That's effectively what they were able to do. But by proving that one case is not abuse does not prove beyond that. It doesn't mean that, oh, I proved that this couple was falsely accused of and then sentenced to prison because they did not commit abuse. That also means that counselors across the nation are also implanting memories. Like those are so different. They are so different from one another. It's just I don't understand, because the truth of the matter is there clearly were, from what I can tell, I've found five cases so far. Obviously, I'm not done digging. There are 5 legitimate cases where I can find somebody who was wrongly convicted of some form of ritual abuse. So nobody was ever charged with Satanism, because it's not illegal to be a Satanist. You can't, lock up retards. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. It is definitely not illegal to be retarded. But Satanism isn't the problem. It's when you commit crimes. And I mean, it would be the same, if you, a Christian bombing an abortion clinic. Okay, well, it's not even illegal to have those thoughts. It's illegal to actually do it. Then that's when law enforcement gets involved. The problem usually lies, though, with the fact that the people committing crimes like this, usually in the name of their religion, it's usually because they don't get caught. They also have a they have a understanding that the crimes that they are committing are massive felonies and that they will be going away for a very long time. So, that's interesting. Do I think that Satanism should be illegal? No. And I'll tell you why. I actually don't believe that any level of ignorance or any sort of really terrible idea, blatant unfounded racism, blatant unfounded sexism, I don't know, being a political ideologue. I don't think any of these, or I don't think any of these ideas should be illegal. Ideas should never be illegal, even if people do believe in them. And the reason why largely is because if somebody believes in these terrible ideas, I want them to be able to freely project that, because I want to know who the fuck they are. Now, the caveat to that is obviously there are some people who have some terrible ideas about the attractiveness of kids. I don't give a shit. That will always remain illegal, and should always. But outside of that idea right there, I mean, here's even the thing too, is like, obviously I don't support them, but the idea of NAMBLA, go for it, you fucking perverts. Like, I want to know who the hell you are, you know? I don't want these people or these ideas to get pushed underground, because one, they get radicalized underground. Two, we also can't keep an eye on them and see how far they spread. You know, it's like there's a lot to be said when something goes underground. It's just like anytime you make something illegal, like, there's no reason to put it underground and then give it to the criminal class, which is exactly what would be happening. So when you make things illegal, you can't watch after it. You can't control it to a certain degree. I mean, a lot of this stuff we can't control anyways. So, no, I think Satanism totally should be out in the open. I think people should need to be a lot more familiar with exactly what it is they believe. I think people because here's the thing, is they are a part of our society. They're not going anywhere. And places like Minnesota, apparently they're like gaining like massive ground, which, how the hell is that even possible? I don't understand. I think largely because there's like this manufactured hypocrisy that people are just like buying into, on both sides. You know, I don't think anyone's hands are clean in this, but you know, it's like, yeah, there's definitely this, like, using the whole abortion thing. I don't know. I think it's all manipulative nonsense. See, here's the thing about the Temple of Satan. The Temple of Satan, I don't think should be considered a church, because they're not. And even on their website, they blatantly admit that they're more of a political organization. So maybe they should have to register and be taxed as a PAC, not as an actual church. Now, the Church of Satan, those guys and gals are definitely a religion, although it's a retarded one. Actually, I shouldn't put retards down like that. But yeah, they're definitely closer to a church. So, you know, there's that. But right. Yeah, the narco Satanism. Well, and that's since that's like less of a actual organized, it's not that it's not organized. Okay. So it is organized. It's usually decentralized though. Highly decentralized. Like O9A, I don't know, any of the Santa Muerte stuff, like right across the border, you know, that's all decentralized. So, I mean, I don't even really understand how to like govern that or to deal with that in society, honestly. That's a whole other thing. But you are right. I mean, most people just kind of group it all together, though. Yeah, Luciferianism, Satanism, Luciferianism. It's all evil. It's all wrong. It's all abomination. I don't disagree. I definitely don't disagree. But I definitely want these people out in front. I want to know who they are. So they should feel, at the very least, they should feel welcome to spread these ideas in public. Because honestly, the only way to fight a bad idea is with a better idea. That's it. Ideas are bulletproof. You literally can't kill ideas. So the only thing you can do is make it look fucking stupid. So Right. Yeah, the Santa Muerte stuff. Yeah, no, it's dangerous as shit. It's wild. Like these people, they are legitimate dangerous Satanists because they do believe this stuff. It's just like the Metamoros cult, which was kind of like a precursor to a lot of the cartel stuff. Man, they're no joke. They legitimately believe this stuff. They make prayers to their little god, their little altars and everything. And yeah, it is no joke. They believe all sorts of weird shit down there. But it is here and it is out in the open. So definitely keep an eye on it, everyone. Let's see. Okay, so we've established John is a retard.
Able to recover these memories, but I don't think he recovered the memories. I think those memories were basically implanted by her trying to think of something that happened to her that didn't actually happen.
Well, the crazy thing is, if you want to give someone multiple personality disorder, you don't need to deliver them drugs or a CIA program. You just need.
Okay, I love how they cut that off right there. Also, why is this auto playing?
And in that book, it's
okay. Yeah, why is that auto playing? I don't like that. Oh, okay, I see why. Okay, so John's a retard, and he's a Fed. So he's a retarded Fed. Cool. Now, here's the problem. Here's the one thing that nobody ever talks about. Well, I won't say nobody, but here's the thing that all of these critics don't actually bring up. And in fact, I knew I should have had this brought up. I'm going to redo my false memory syndrome coverage. Even the videos I did, even though they're not that old. But I did. This is probably my most favorite video I've ever done, ever. Out of everything I've ever fucking made. I did an X thread. Damn it. Been having some major issues with let's see, with YouTube, at least in the browsers lately. Here it is. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I said stop. Jeez, this autoplay thing is fucking ridiculous. Okay, so get that. Let me get over here real quick. So yeah, I did a thread on X, all about Elizabeth Loftus and her, oh damn it, where did it go? Are you kidding me? All about her Lost in the Mall study. And first and foremost, let me tell you, the whole thing was bullshit. She basically lied the whole way through. I mean, the results of the Lost in the Mall study are insane. They're literally insane. I'll get into that here in just a sec. Where the hell is this? Okay, it looks like I saved every single oh, wait. Is this it? Anyways, Loftus. She's just a lying sack of shit. Like I don't know how to say it any other way. Let's see. Okay, and she's a freak too. And what I mean by that is she actually came in and was she was asked by the defense of Ted Bundy here in Salt Lake. Here in Salt Lake City, Bundy's defense team asked her to come in and testify on behalf of him. Well, she said in her book, mind you, witness for the defense. She basically wanted Bundy to ask her if she could stay over at his place. Like, what? And granted, this is like before everyone knew he was Bundy, right? But at the time, there still were suspicions that he might be the Ted, you know? So it's like, let's see here. So I did a whole thread on this as well. But this is the stuff that I'm going to redo. I think it's worth it. Let's see, where was it? Right here. Loftus later wrote a book called Witness for the Defense, which she devoted an entire chapter to her experience. Incredibly interesting. On page 74, she said, "The thought had occurred to me as I was flying to Salt Lake City earlier that day that Ted Bundy might offer to let me stay in his apartment." Okay, so this is who the woman is, okay? Like, let's see. So O'Connell, Bundy's defense attorney, O'Connell admitted to Loftus that Bundy was a suspect in the Ted cases from the Pacific Northwest, but said no evidence connected him to Duranche's attack. There was just her identification and some type O blood drops on her clothing. Type O matched a large percentage of men. Unfortunately, Bundy could not establish an alibi. Well, unfortunately for him, you know, I don't really care that he couldn't. So, yeah, from Ted Bundy to Ghislaine Maxwell, the misadventures of a girl boss. No shit. So I actually I read an article where she had somebody, I think it was maybe from the Guardian or something. She had a journalist literally follow her around for a full day, and God, the spectacle of this. One thing that came out though, so during the 70s, maybe 80s, I don't know, it was after the Bundy trial. She was married for a while. She's only ever been married once. In the article, she says that her husband left her because she was, quote unquote, married to her work and just couldn't stop. And honestly, that I believe she is obsessed with this stuff. Like, I mean, she's just, oh my God. But what came out in the article was that her ex-husband, who she still sees regularly, like as a friend, comes over to their old house and all that stuff. Loftus still keeps her ex-husband's clothes in the closet like he never left. Okay? When I say she's a freak, that's what I mean. She's a fucking freak. Like, what the fuck are you doing, lady? Okay, for anyone interested, I'm actually just going to share this in the chat. Let's go ahead and do that now. I broke down the whole false memory syndrome, lost in the mall study. I did the whole fucking thing. Went through all of it. And let's see over here. Let's see. I also did a whole stream on it. We broke it down. It's an hour and 43 minutes. Go check that out. Let's see, I did that 8 months ago. So literally broke down the whole thing. She is a lying bitch. Yeah, it's incredibly interesting. Literally 30 people is what determined the outcome of Lost in the Mall. Several of those people left in the middle of the study. It came down to 24 people by the end of it. Out of those 24 people, 4 were determined to have had a false memory implanted in them, right? Because that's the whole concept of this, is that you are able to take someone and implant a false memory in them. Okay? Like that's what you're supposed to do, okay? It doesn't work that way though. You can't implant false memories. First of all, a false memory is like a contradiction of terms. like it, if it's a memory, it can't be false because you can't remember something that never happened. Like, it's just this craziest thing. And the fact that people would even believe that this is possible is like, nobody stops and questions like, whoa, wait, false memory. Like, what? You can implant a false memory? No, you can't. No, it's impossible. It doesn't happen because the brain will never recognize it as a memory. It's just the craziest thing. Let's see. I went through the archives and she was brought onto the board of the FMSF very early, just like the CIA and eye doctors. That's why I think she's a spook. No, I completely think she's a spook. I think that's the entire reason she has a career. I mean, she was literally brought on to give legitimacy to this whole thing. And it's also interesting. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. The very fact that she's testified for the people that she has. O.J. Simpson, McMartin, Rodney King, Menendez brothers, Oliver North, Martha Stewart, Scooter Libby, George Franklin, Timothy McVeigh, Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein, Robert Durst, Ghislaine Maxwell, Paul Shanley, and the Bosnian War Crimes Tribunal. And this is only just like a small snippet of her career. But she's always on the side of the worst fucking people. Always. It's never like she gets brought in to defend somebody that's legitimately innocent or something. She's always on the worst side of the worst. So her most notable experiment, which she's still riding the coattails of, mind you. Let's see. The formation of false memories. Loftus aimed to prove that it was relatively easy to implant full or partial false memories of a childhood event that never actually happened. Okay, that's what we're talking about here, is the full or partial implantation of a event that never happened. This is what, we've got to be clear on terms. This is exactly what people mean by false memory, or at least what they should mean. If this is not what they are discussing, then they are not talking about false memory. Let's see here. It's honestly like a form of witchcraft. Let's see. It's really manipulative and disgusting form of gaslighting, 100%. But yeah, it's like, it is gaslighting for sure. Especially because they put it to the test and it doesn't work, because guess what? The memory expert doesn't understand how memory works. Honestly, I don't think she actually has studied memory. I think she's mainly just had her career handed to her largely. Not saying that she's never done anything, because I'm sure she's done something. But, well, I'll leave my opinion in the back of my mind, what I think she's done to get her career. But, yeah. Let's see. So this is kind of interesting too. Something I wanted to point out with people like her. Okay. Largely the reason why this is pushed, false memory, that is, the reason why this is pushed and largely believed, okay, is because of the Mockingbird journalist. Okay. The one thing, it's almost a rule. if you get a job as a journalist at like a real newsstand or a CIA rag, A, B, or C, if you are a certified journalist, you are never going to question a PhD. I don't know why. It just never happens. Not from any of like the established places, right? That you can, you can get independent places or places that are half independent, places that appear to be independent. They might question them. But any of the main Mockingbird media outlets, they're never going to question somebody with a PhD. It doesn't matter if they're right or wrong. They just won't question them. It doesn't matter. So the study is not only described in virtually all introductory psychology textbooks, but is often cited by expert witnesses in cases involving allegations of childhood abuse that may potentially be based upon false memories. So this one study is not only the cornerstone of Elizabeth Loftus's work, but it is the cornerstone to the house of cards that is false memory, and the aforementioned False Memory Syndrome Foundation, of which both have been used to silence millions of victims of childhood abuse. Yeah, I mean, I don't have time, unfortunately, to get into the Lost in the Mall study, but they consulted with Dr. Don. Oh, see what's wrong? Dr. John Money, damn it. I promise I didn't get hit in the head. But the very fact that they would talk to this man, John Money, and take him seriously and be like, oh yeah, this is the guy that we need to consult with, I think just tells you everything you need to know about who they are and what they do. Like, it's disgusting. It's so disgusting. It's very, very similar to Scientology's auditing practices, especially past life audits. I know nothing about the past life audits, although I do agree it is 100% like it's not exactly like them, the auditing practices, but it is very close. You are so correct on that. It's all brainwashing is a form of witchcraft, and false memory implantation is brainwashing. Right. But here's the thing. Most of it's like a type of like hypnosis, right? Because nothing actually gets implanted. And what I mean by it's like hypnosis is that, okay, for instance, the Ash experiment explains it perfectly. We could all look at different size lines when we get asked what size line is the same as the control line. The true answer could be A. The entire group says C. And then the person that's like, wait a second, everyone can see that's A. Like, am I crazy? Like, what's going on here? If I say A, which is the correct answer, the group is going to like think I'm weird. And I can't handle that social interaction, so I'm just going to lie and say C. Like, that's why conspiracies are so upsetting to so many people, because it doesn't really matter if they're true or not. What matters is that you're upsetting the social norm. And that's really upsetting to some people. Some people cannot handle being like on the outside, being the weird kid. It's like that's all I know. It's being the weird kid. So I don't know how to be any other way. This is crazy. Let's see. Yeah, honestly, I mean, this stuff. So here's another thing. The 2019 paper Lost in the Mall, False Memory or False Memory Defense by Ruth A. Blizzard looks at false memory syndrome, FMS, and parental alienation syndrome. Okay, that's another side to this coin too. Like, it's honestly that it's so hard. Go check out this thread that I did, because it's probably the best thing I have ever done. It is amazing. I hate tooting my own horn. So the very fact that I'm bragging about how good I did on this, like I said, I swear I didn't get hit in the head. I don't know if I'm just like too excited and I can't get the words out or what the hell's going on, but the fact that I'm bragging about the work I did on this thread and on the video, I mean, should just tell everyone how good it actually is, because holy hell, I hate bragging about myself so much. And I hate other people bragging about me as well. But it's honestly the best thing I think I've done so far. It's just, God, it is good. I need to go read it again. We probably should have done that just today. But this, I got to go back to this, because this is the point of today's show, which I'm going to have to start wrapping up here in just a sec, because I've got to go on another show. Let's see. I can't do a show tomorrow. I've got an interview on Friday. So we're going to pick this stuff up because, God, I've got so much more to get to. I have 4 other tabs of videos to get through, and I could barely get through one 46-second one. Let's see here. Anyway, so we will pick up false memory syndrome stuff on Monday. Like I said, no show tomorrow, show on Friday, which will be an interview. It will be a part 2 of a survivor story. So make sure and go check that out. But let's establish how much of a retard John is one more time.
It's co-authored by her husband, and her husband was a member of what's called the International Society for the Study of Dissociation. It was like this pseudoscientific conspiracy theory society that was championing satanic panic theories during the 1980s. During that satanic panic, there were this kind of false memory syndrome that was going around, the idea that if we hypnotize someone, it might induce they might recall these repressed memories. In fact, it was like inducing false memories in people. And he says in this book that he did this hypnotism on her and he was able to recover these memories. But I don't think he recovered the memories. I think those memories were basically implanted by her trying to...
Now, who's the fucking conspiracy theorist, you fucking retard? Like, holy shit. He walks, this man's a professor and he teaches history. Like, holy hell, whoever learns from him, like, oh my God, I would be so scared if I was a parent and I saw any of this. I would move my child, period. Just period. I would. So unfortunately, you wonderful people, I do have to cut it short tonight. I've got another engagement. But I had to get this out. I had to come talk to you awesome people. The show I'm going to be on, unfortunately, is behind the paywall. It will not be out tonight. I believe it's out tomorrow. But we are doing some more West Memphis 3 over on the No Way Jose channel. We have released what we've already done so far, so go check out his channel. And I'm going to go bitch about 3 Satanists that got off, basically. So, let's see. You can talk to us anytime, Jacob. Hey, right back at you. So I want to say thank you so much for showing up. I want to remind you, Friday, we've got an interview. Monday, we will pick up this show, part 2 on Monday. Okay. So, and on that note, allmylinks.com/rise to liberty. It's all in the episode description. I think that's it. So until next time, stay free, my friends.